We'll get it going when we can get it going. But anyways, for right now, the radio works, and that's all that really is important when you're doing a radio show. So, all right, let's get back to the text line 888-368-1580. Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, watch the Lakers go out and get Jimmy Butler and wreck the Western Conference. Why do the Lakers always get the best players? Oh, that's right, because it's the Lakers and the NBA wants the Lakers to be good. The NBA didn't do this trade. Did the NBA do this trade? No. The GMs of the teams made this trade. Do you really think the NBA Adam Silver called up this Nico fellow and he's like, you make this trade happen? No, I don't think so. Not buying it. I'm not buying the it's rigged theories here. Let's see here. Fifth letter says, remember, Keon, we're sitting in fifth in the West before this trade. Okay.
All right.
Noted.
I don't know. You have no center. Who is in the middle of your defense? Who is going to defend the basket? Who's going to go up against Nikola Jokic? You got any answers to that particular question? Do you think that Luka Doncic and LeBron James?
Luka can be the center.
Oh, that's right. Is Luka the worst defensive player of all the superstars in basketball right now? That same Luka?
I don't know, Keon. Is he?
He is. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out a way to like this Lakers thing is a big future deal for the Lakers. You are not winning a title this year. To be clear, this is not a like. It took Luka some time to work with Kyrie. They had a whole year that they had to gel before those guys made it work. You know, this thing doesn't just happen. You don't just take two stars, throw them together, and then win right away. Easy to say, I guess. Like this is something that you have to take some time to gel. You just got Luka. I think you can look at your roster and go, wow, for the next 10 years, if we can fix Luka like that, we're good. We didn't have to draft a guy or anything. But this year, you don't get to sound all high and mighty. You're not doing anything this year. As a point of fact.
You never know.
You have no center. You never know. You have no center.
Well, I mean, the trade deadline, there's still time.
Sure. You want to take Yusuf Nurkic from us?
Please.
We'll give him away. We'll take one of those other picks you got lying around.
T-Leisure says, I resent that Niners remark from earlier.
You are like that, okay? Not you, T-Licious specifically, but your tribe, the Niner fans. Y'all are like that.
He totally is. No,
y'all are like that.
He says, please tell me how the Lakers' odds improved to win a title when they lost their best defender. Yeah, exactly what Keon was just saying. But he sent this much earlier. Oh, he sent this on your last show. So you've already heard this.
Yeah.
Aiton's Army says, by the way, what a journey for the nickname Aiton's Army. Dude's been balling out for Portland right now, while reports of Luka weighing 270 pounds come out, and his team just ditched him over the weekend. How many times have you asked me if I want to change my nickname, Jeffrey? Hey, that's great that Aiton is going crazy. But don't act like you were thrilled to have that nickname all the times. He was exactly what we said he was. So now, you got to wait how many years before Luka kicks in? See what I'm saying? From now on, you can never change your Texter nickname. You will always be Aiton's Army.
I don't think he wants to.
But even if he does, I'm not allowing it. Or in a whim, I'll just change it for him. You're now Betty White's hairbrush. Betty White's hairbrush says...
That actually just is a good Texter nickname. But
it actually is not too bad.
Yeah.
Stockton Slap says, I'm a big believer of needing to hit rock bottom before creating true change. I think Luka will be so hurt by this trade, it'll motivate him to put down the Twinkies and pick up the dumbbells. Really? Guessing that most people listening, when you're feeling hurt, exercise is not the go-to, probably more Twinkies.
Unless exercise was already your go-to. That's usually how that
those
goes.
Feelings.
But I don't know. Some people do have that rock bottom, like Chris Carter getting cut by the Eagles and then, becoming a great receiver with the Vikings, because that was the hey, you might actually lose this if you don't start taking it seriously. We'll see if it works for Luka. We'll see.
Bear Claw says, do you recommend a sports betting voucher for Valentine's Day? Only if you want to be single. Latina Leprechaun says, oh, Jeffrey, I tend to agree with you about Luka, but I don't see how the Mavericks actually get better with this trade. Time will tell. Well, but they're getting they're getting better by subtraction. There's a culture change. that will be followed by other players.
Also, Anthony Davis has been playing out of his mind this season. I think that they got so much better defensively. And by the way, you still have Kyrie Irving. Like, that's not nobody. That's a guy that's an NBA champion. He's a superstar in his own right. Now has like the carte blanche to kind of run that offense the way that he wants to instead of trying to work his way around Luka. And that's before we start to get to like the guys that they have defensively, like Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, where if you play those guys at center and then you take Anthony Davis and kick him to power forward, which he would prefer to play anyway, you just have an insane defensive lineup that I don't know who's scoring on that. I have no idea who's scoring on that.
Sir Drives a Lot sent me a text that is so good he sent it 3 times.
Oh.
But then I realized he sent it, he only wanted to send it once, but then he kept re-editing it. Like, we're talking 345, 345, 346. So hopefully he's got it just right, because here it comes. This one better be a doozy. Anthony Davis is better than a bunch of future draft picks. Davis is dominant when he plays. He'll play the 4 and not the 5. Mavs have a legit shot at the Larry O this year, which they didn't have on Friday. Well, you might want to pump the old brakes on that one. I mean, just as good a shot as anybody in the 7 through 10 range at the moment.
One of the things that when they went to the finals last year, one of the things that they could not do was stop Boston from doing anything. And a lot of that was Boston went, who's the weakest defender on the floor? Oh, it's Luka. And then they went at Luka over and over again. You just basically run pick and roll until you get a switch. And when the switch ends up with Luka and the ball carrier's got to go up against Luka, you just go at Luka. He can't stop you.
Fifth letter says Kleber and Jackson Hayes will take care of the middle for now. We're not done yet. Going to go address the middle. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Be honest, I don't. This isn't over yet. Bullseye says, "Oh joy, the Renaissance Festival commercials are back. At least this one doesn't have the winches yelling about meat sticks. Huzzah!" Bat Flipper says, "I like the new NBA bargaining agreement. Makes players play harder and show up. Luka beat the Wolves last year, Donnie, by the way." Baker's Cocky Hen says, "The shoe company theory makes more sense than the NBA controlling this."
Yeah, I mean, it's two.
That's interesting.
An agent and a shoe guy.
Killer Rabbit says, "Kyrie is like, what? Look at Anthony's unibrow. The world is flat."
Okay.
Devil Hawk says, "I think Betty White's soggy." Oh, I'm not reading that. Never right. Gonna. Nope. Sorry, Devil Hawk. That's just no way I'm ever reading that. Stockton Slap says, "Really? Have you ever been through a breakup? The gym is a hurt man's sanctuary." It can be. It's true. Either going to be that way if you're already going to the gym, or you're going to eat them feelings. Look around. Most of us eat feelings.
Well, it depends, right? Because there are some people, they go through the breakup and then they go, you know what? She's going to regret this. I'm going to look like the most attractive version of myself that she never actually got to see. And then you go to the gym, and that people do that. That is a thing that I have known people to do. They were not gym goers before, but because they wanted to make their ex jealous, they did.
Yeah, that's not me. I'm eating my feelings. Just going to eat the hell out of it.
It goes either way for me. It just depends on how bad the breakup is. If it's too bad, it's gym. If it's not that bad, let's take a trip to Taco Bell, see what we're doing tonight. Some gorditas.
I don't know. I probably should get on the treadmill now anyway. I went hiking twice this weekend.
Oh, wow.
I did. My wife and I walked with the dogs, which is, always a pain in the ass with the dogs. And, but no, we did it twice. So it's like, yeah, now I kind of like, I got to keep going. In fact, I probably should have one of those little things where while I'm doing the show, because I stand the entire time I do the show here. Maybe I should get one of those things where I'm constantly walking. Then I'd be constantly out of breath. Maybe that's a bad idea. Hamilton Porter says, "I think Anthony Davis just broke his ankle getting off the plane in Dallas." What a stupid trade, he says. And it's on brand.
Anthony Davis has been mostly healthy this year, right up until he hurt his abdomen like last week.
Bat Flipper says, "LA has way more things to do than Dallas. What makes you guys think Luka is going to work harder?"
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a long-term play for LA that could be great if they figure it out.
Devil's Hawk is making me uncomfortable now.
Oh, boy.
He says, "Jeffrey, you're perfectly fine looking as you are. That chiseled jawline will make any woman's knees weak." Oh, brother. They're not looking at jaws these days. They're looking I'm totally working. I'm working the aggressive dad bod right now. Anyway, all right, that's 1 hour down. Let's come back and talk about more things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Or you can always check them out at